Do you want to hear the story of Ugly Duckling? Very good! Once upon a time, there was a beautiful white duck that lived in the countryside. She lived a happy and simple life until it was time for her to lay her eggs. The duck sat patiently on her nest and waited for her eggs to hatch for days. To her delight, the shells started to crack one after the other, and from each of them came a cute duckling. "Quack, quack, quack!" they cried. All of her ducklings have come out of their shells, all but one. The mother duck was already tired of sitting on her nest all day. Even grandmother duck advised her, "Just leave it, my dear. It might be a turkey's egg." But mother duck ignored her advice and patiently waited for her eggs to hatch. After a few days, at last the last egg was hatched. Ugly Duckling came out of his shell. His mother was delighted to see him. The next day, Mother Duck took her flock to the pond. One by one, the little ducklings followed their mother as she jumped into water. The last of them was Ugly Duckling, and he swam as gracefully as his brothers. "He is not a turkey after all. He is my own. He is my son," whispered Mother Duck herself. The ugly duckling became the center of jokes of the flock. "You are so big and you don't look like us at all. Are you sure you're one of us?" The ducklings mocked him. "You leave your brother alone," their mother said. "He may not look like us, but he will grow strong and beautiful." His mother became his defender, even with other ducks who questioned his breed. Mother Duckling loved the ugly duckling so much and told him that no matter what the other ducks say, she will always be there for him. "You must always remember, my dear, character is better than one's physical appearance," his mother told him every day. Despite his mother's support, the ugly duckling became lonelier each day, for he had no one to play with. One day, the ugly duckling decided to leave home, to not look back and just go on his own way. He wanted to start anew and leave behind his painful memories. He thought of his mother too, and he didn't want her fighting for him anymore, so he left. A farmer saw the ugly duckling and decided to take him home to his farm. "What an odd-looking duckling," the farmer's wife said, but they kept him warm and fed him. The ugly duckling was happy to have met them until he heard her say, "When he becomes fat enough, I will cook him." The ugly duckling escaped when he heard what the wife of the farmer said. He ran away until the rain drops. He found a shelter in the bushes. In his loneliness, he think of his mother and his brothers. When he reached a pond, he thought he was alone, but then a flock of swans appeared and started swimming all over the place. The next few weeks went by peacefully. The ugly duckling gained new friends, and they didn't judge him by his looks. They played every day. Time passed by and the ugly duckling moved from one place to another. He had no permanent home, and he thought made him sad. He often thought of his loving mother and how he missed her so much. He also thought of his brothers. Despite of their past, he still missed them. One day, he came upon a large flock of beautiful birds flying. He thought it was his friends, but Ugly Duckling had never seen any like them before. He was amazed. He followed their every move and watched them closely as they spread their lovely wings. Time passed and the Ugly Duckling eventually grew. Its wings are bigger and stronger. He could now fly higher and longer. One day, as he was flying, he saw a familiar pond. They reminded him of his mother and brothers. The Ugly Duckling decided to land on the pond and approached the group there. He was scared that they might reject him, but as he landed on the water, his fear turned into wonder. The Ugly Duckling saw in his reflection that he has turned into a beautiful swan. Mother Duck could not believe her eyes when a beautiful swan appeared in front of her. The once ugly duckling has transformed into a gorgeous swan, and his mother knew him. She will always remember the duckling she took care and loved. "It's me, Mother, your ugly duckling," he said. "Not anymore, my dearest duckling, not anymore," she whispered with joy as she hugged him tightly. And that is the story of Ugly Duckling. The end!